Hi everyone. Today we will be looking at how do you find the power of a product. In the last couple lessons we've looked at finding powers with the same base, so multiplying powers that have the same base. We've looked at finding the power of a power, and then today we're going to look at how do you find the power of a product. Well, we know that product means multiplication, so it looks like we will be having some multiplication happening today. So that's a clue. All right, let's check out an example that they give us. So the first example we have is 2 times x to the third power. 2 times x to the third power. So when we look at this, we know that 2 times x we cannot simplify because x is a variable and 2 is a constant. So we cannot combine those. We don't know what x is. So what we're going to do is we are going to work on this problem to look like this. 2 to the third. So this 3 is multiplying times this x, or this 2, but it's also a power for the x. And they're multiplied, so it looks like this. We now have 2 to the third, and we have x to the third. This problem right here looks like, if we were to write it out, it would be 2x times 2x times 2x. When we figure out what our exponents are for each thing, we have a 2, we have a 2, and we have a 2. That is how you get 2 to the third. Okay, and then if we look at our x's, here's an x, here's an x, and here's an x, right? There's 3 x's. So that's how we get x to the third. Now what we're going to do is we are going to simplify this down. We know what 2 to the third is. We know that 2 to the third is just 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. That gives us 8. So if we simplify this even further, this problem is 8 times x to the third power. So when you find the power of a product, you are seeing how far can you go to simplify this down by using multiplication. We cannot simplify this x any further because the x doesn't have a value. So because we don't know the value of x, we cannot simplify it. It just is written as x to the third. All right, let's go ahead and look at another example. In this example, example B, we have 3 times x times y, all written to the second power. So when we find the power of the product, this is the product, the things that are being multiplied. This is the same as saying 3xy times 3xy. So we can look at this and rewrite it as, how many 3's do we have? Well, we have 3 to the power of 2 times we have x, right? 2 x's, or x to the power of 2. And then last but not least, we have the y to the power of 2. So everything here is being multiplied. So what we're going to do is we're going to now simplify the things that we can simplify and then combine everything back together. Okay, so we're trying to get rid of as many exponents as we possibly can in order to simplify the expression. So this expression here, this 3, when I multiply these two 3's right here, 3 times 3, I get 9. So really, this whole problem right here looks like 9 times x squared times y squared. I cannot simplify this down any further because we do not know the value of x and we do not know the value of y. If we did, then we could solve for those and get rid of those exponents, but we don't know those. So this is how we find the power of a product. Okay, let's do another example. So I just scoot this up. All right, so our next example, example C. Example C looks like 4x squared. Okay, so we have 4x squared on this problem. Again, all we're doing is we're just distributing this exponent to each thing inside the parentheses. So I have 4 squared and I have x squared. I can now go ahead and simplify out this 4 squared. So this 4 squared is the same as saying 4 times 4, which is 16. So when it's simplified, I have 16 times x squared. We don't know what x is, so we cannot solve that. We can also, again, look at this problem here. Instead of just going to there, we can think about this as 4x times 4x, because this says that we have 2 sets of whatever's in there. And then from here, I have 2 4s. And I also have 2 x's, or the base, x times x, 1, 2, x to the power of 2. So this combines what we did a couple days ago, but it also takes it one step further by simplifying the things that we are able to simplify down. Okay, so let's look at one last example before I have you do a try it. And in this one, I want to give you a fraction to do. Okay, so example D. Oh, and we still need to do our definition for this one. So in example D, we have 1/2 W and Z to the 3rd power. Okay, so 1/2 W times Z. And this is written the exact same way. So we have 1/2 of W times Z, so 1/2 W and a Z times 1/2 WZ times, oops, I forgot my 1/2. 1/2 W and a Z. So now we're going to take and we're going to combine the things that we are able to combine. So we're going to combine our 1/2. So here's 1, 2, and 3. So this is like saying 1/2 to the 3rd power. And then we have a W, 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 and W. So this is like W to the 3rd. And then we also have the Z's, right? So 1, 2, and 3. And Z's, I don't mean sleepy, which most of us are by this point in the math video. But we don't have the Z's, okay? So we don't know what Z is, so we can't do anything with that. We don't know what W is, but we do know how to figure out 1/2. So we're going to look at 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 and go from there. So let's go ahead and show our work. We have 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Or 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 1 times 1. is 1/8. So we have 1/8 w to the third times z to the third power. Okay, so simplify the things you can simplify and combine the things that exponent the things that we're not able to simplify. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what a power of a product property says. Okay, so the power of a product property, the rule, try saying that 5 times fast. The power of a product property says that to find the power of a product, we need to find the power of each factor and multiply. So when given a product, you need to find the power of each factor and then multiply. So when given a product, find the power of each factor and multiply. All right, and that is the product of a power property. What I want to do with this is I would like to give you one more example of how it relates just to this without any of the extra so that you can see it in action. So here is my product, 3 times 2 to the 5th power. That's my product. When given the product, we're going to find the power. So the power of 3 to the 5th times 2 to the 5th. So there's my power. Find the power of each. And then we are going to multiply and multiply. So 3 to the 5th is like saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 5 times. So 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 times, so we have, I can't do this in my head, so I'm just going to get you a Post-it right now because I'm running out of space here. Okay? So if I had 3 to the 5th power times 2 to the 5th power, I'm just going to break this down as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So I have 9 times 9 times 3, which is 81 times 3, which gives us 3, and 8 times 3 is 24. And then here we have 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 2. So we have 4 times 4 times 2. And then we have 16 times 2, which is 12, 32. And now you would multiply the two of those together. So 243 times 32. 243 times 32. And then add 6, 17, 5, 7, 7. So your answer is 7,776. So after you multiply. So simplify it down. Okay, it is your turn now to do some try it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. You don't need to write everything that was on that green sticky unless you really want to. Okay, let's go ahead and do your try-its. So your try-its for today, let me get back to that page. All right, so your try-its. Try-it number 1 says that I have 5y to the 4th And try it number 2 says that I have A times B to the 5th. And we're going to go ahead and solve both of those. So go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving. And then when you are ready, come on back. All right, so the power of a product says that I need to find first the power of each product. So this is like saying 5 to the 4th, y to the 4th. Now I'm going to multiply out the things that I can multiply. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 gives me 25 times 25. And 25 times 25 is 625. So my answer is 625 times y to the 4th. I can't solve for y yet because I don't know what it is. All right, example number 2. I have a to the 5th, a to the 5th power. I have b to the 5th power. So my answer is a to the 5th times b to the 5th. I can't simplify anything. I can't simplify anything down, so this right here is my answer. All right, it is your turn to answer your essential question. How do you find the power of a product? How do you find the power of a product? And then go ahead and write your level of understanding out to the side. When you are finished, you may come on back to the Google Meet and ask for help, or you can go on and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.